Hello everybody, Sheepsgate here, and today I wanted to show you the Echidna class carrier. It's a light fighter carrier that I built recently. As you can see, it's kind of like a traditional modern-day ocean carrier design. And at first you might think, it doesn't really work so well in space, it leaves your fighters exposed to the elements and incoming fire and all that, but I'm going to explain why I chose this design. First of all, I mean, it kind of looks cool, you know. I like the modern-day carrier look, even if it's not quite as functional in most space scenarios. But this is a light carrier, and it's equipped with a gravitic warp drive. And even though it's a decently sized ship, you know, it's not really towards the bigger levels that I've seen on the workshop, but it's a decent little ship. It's got, you know, like maybe 2 decks and a command bridge, and it can carry about 4 or 5 decent sized fighters, you know. But even though it's a pretty decent sized little ship, this is probably one of the fastest carriers you will ever see. That's not a challenge, obviously, but it is pretty fast, and the reason that I chose this design, the open air design for the carrier, is because this ship is designed to just fly through a battle zone. It's never gonna stop. If there are enemy ships in the sector, it's not gonna stop because, you know, it's got some decent armament protecting the upper deck, but it can't really defend itself well in a full-scale battle. Its mission is just to go into an area, drop all of its fighters without stopping, and then just zoom out the other side of the battle zone without taking fire. It does have a heavy armor skeleton, but the majority of this is in fact light armor. And as you can see here, the engines are kind of put out away from the ship. This is heavy armor holding it on, but even still, it wouldn't be hard to just cut this engine right off of there, leaving this pretty much dead in the water, so to speak. But as I said before, it's really just designed to shoot through. Like, you're never probably going to get a shot at this little section right here, because you're just going to see a black and gray fuzz shoot through the battle zone and launch its fighters without stopping. I will demonstrate that, but first I just want to kind of give you a little bit of a tour around the ship. You have the flight deck, obviously, the main bread and butter of it. Like I said, it can hold probably 4 or 5 decent-sized fighters. If your fighters are a little bit more compact, you could probably fit more than that on there. I generally carry 4 to 5. My fighters are of a medium size. Like I said, the exoskeleton is hard armor. It's heavy armor. So obviously I wanted to put my heavy armor out front just in case you are going to collide with something. It's not likely. It's a pretty maneuverable ship for its size, but I just wanted the added protection. If you come over here, you'll see the command bridge. You got decent protection on it, you know, for incoming physics-based projectiles. You should be able to shoot down most of them. And the missile defenses as well are pretty useful. You have your engine sled, which is what I call it, since it's not really so much part of the ship. The engines are exposed, and you could get a pretty easy shot at this if it was standing still. But like I said, you're probably never going to see this. It's going to be moving too fast. I can't remember exactly how fast it reaches its top speed, but you wouldn't expect a ship this size to go that fast. It does have a couple of solar panels. By no means can it power all of its engines with just these solar panels, but it does have a small battery bank, and it's really just for emergency power if you're ever in a bad situation where your reactors can't get fuel. Let's go inside. Got some 3, I believe, yeah, 3 interior turrets. Once again, you know, it's nothing crazy. If you had a really good-sized boarding party, you could probably take control of this ship if you could catch it. And that is the main defense of this ship, is just not being caught. Back here where this turret is, that's where the small battery bank is. It's nothing, you know, extreme, just enough to have some emergency power. You go up this staircase here, and it brings you straight to the command bridge. I built this ship before I had any of the mods that I have now. I will probably update it in the near future and put some command consoles from Colt 16's command console pack in here, just to make it look a bit more futuristic and a little cooler, you know, because it is pretty barren right now. But you do have your flight seat here, and you have a pretty decent view of the deck. And obviously, you know, it's a medium-sized ship. You can actually fit the entire thing in the camera, which is a problem I've had with some of my bigger ships. You just can't see the whole thing. You don't even know what's going on behind the camera. And if we go down, I'll show you the organs, as it were, of the ship. Come back outside on the flight deck, and this main door here in the middle takes you down through this passageway, and you drop right into the crew quarters. It's nothing fancy. Like I said, I built this before I had any of the mods that I have now, so I don't have any bunk beds or anything like that. It's really just if you want to carry the fighter pilots in a safe place when they're not in their fighters. You open this door here, and this is what makes this ship so functional. It makes it to where it doesn't get blown to pieces within the first couple seconds of battle. This is the gravitic warp drive, and I've built it into the sides of the ship to give myself some extra space in this room. I'm not too sure what I want to do with this area yet, but like I said, I've got a bunch of mods now that I didn't have before, and I will eventually fill this area with something either useful or aesthetically pleasing. Come back here through the other door, and this is our engine bay. It's got a fair amount of gyroscopes. It's not like a crazy amount like some of my other ships, but it's enough to maneuver this ship pretty well given its size. The reactors are all piped up. You could use this in survival. It'd be a decent sized build to undertake, and I probably wouldn't do it myself, but it's not an extreme ship like some of the ones that I've seen on the workshop. You could very well do it in survival, and it would be pretty beneficial if you're going to be taking it to a war. So if we go back to the pilot seat, I just want to show you how this thing operates. So, start thrusting forward. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my HUD so you can see the details. It's got some pretty good acceleration just with its basic thrusters, you know. These are nothing special. They're not modded thrusters. It's just the vanilla game thrusters. You can reach top speed in a decent amount of time, but you're not going to get away from anybody who's trying to kill you. It does have kind of a slow stopping speed. And that is actually a pretty big problem for this, because this ship is going to go fast, and it will take a while to stop. But yeah, basically the ship's designed to just pass through a battle zone, launch its fighters without stopping, and then just leave before it can get fired upon. And then after all the fighting is said and done, it can come back through at a normal speed and pick its fighters back up. I just want to show you how fast this thing can reach its speed. I do actually have the 500 meters per second speed mod by Screaming Angels now, so you're going to see me exceed the 100 meters per second speed limit. Just watch how impressive this is. I'm going to activate the gravitic warp drive now, and I'm just going to aid it a little bit with the thrusters. You see how fast it's jumping up. I've already passed the top speed of the main regular game. I'm already at 300 meters per second now, and I've only been accelerating for maybe, you know, 4 or 5 seconds, something like that, and I'm at top speed. I'm going to turn off my dampeners and disable the gravitic warp drive, turn on my artificial gravity again, and I'm going to hop out and I'm going to demonstrate how this works exactly. You can safely move about the deck even at this speed. Obviously there are bugs every now and then. This is alpha after all, but you can get in your fighter, and one main thing I want to point out is you definitely want to have your dampeners off on your fighters, and I go ahead and turn off my reactors as well just for the extra precaution. So you just hop into your fighter here, and you can activate your reactors and then disable your landing gear. All you do is you just thrust up a little bit, and keep in mind we're still moving upwards of 500 meters per second. And then say we're in our battle area now, I just activate my dampeners, and the carrier shoots off into the distance, never to be seen again. And I can promise you, even if I was to turn off my dampeners and chase after that thing with all I've got, I will not catch it. Obviously, you're not going to be a one-man crew. The fighter pilot will be able to get back to the carrier because the carrier pilot will be able to activate its dampeners. But that's basically it. I just kind of wanted to show you the concept of it. I built it maybe a week or two back, and it is on the Steam Workshop. As I said before, you could probably build it in survival, and I think it'd be really cool to see it in an actual battle, see it used for what it's meant to be used for. So if you guys want to download it, just subscribe to it, and maybe even upload your videos so I can watch them. That would be great. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch y'all later.